Hello,
We're
world.
live. We live. Woot woot.
Put
Must
the red light on.
Yeah, I see it. It went live. We're there.
Maybe I
Awesome.
should probably get on the channel. Maybe. I don't know.
Ryan's flailing his arms like that.
That sounds like me.
Was that Team America? What's the signal?
It still says live with special music retreat streams. Darn it, the go live notification was wrong.
Doc Bizzle with that 50 lurker host.
Jeez.
Yeah, the go live notification was probably a little misleading. Sorry,
Hi,
guys.
guys.
It's not
Let's
really.
turn the
what we're
volume
doing.
down. There we go.
All right, so but before we get rolling, I want to ask the people in chat how it sounds for them. Can everybody hear everyone clearly? Am I louder than anybody or vice versa? If you guys could let us know before we kick this off, that would be awesome because we want you guys to be able to hear everything as clear as possible. So let us know. Bum, bum, bum.
Do you hear us? Maybe we should all talk so they know.
You can hear
Check,
everybody.
check. Mic checking. Hello.
How's your day been, guys? What have you guys been doing today? This beautiful.
been good.
It's Friday.
Just streaming. Doing a little streaming.
Streaming that stuff on
stream.
Friday.
I might be a little bit quiet.
Broadcasting. Yeah.
A little laggy.
I can get close.
Broadcasting. Yeah.
I even lowered we're down to 720 and
Ooh.
my bit rate, I lowered it a little bit so people can be better. Usually I stream like
Dan
way
is
higher.
not as loud as the others. Yeah. Okay, everybody shush.
Okay. I'll raise it up.
I'm going to sit really still so everybody thinks my cam's frozen.
Honestly, Doc, I already thought that happened once today. Just after the call with you. So it'll happen again.
I'll just go up.
You're just really good at
Let's-
sitting still. You're like one of the
Check.
vampires from Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
Check.
Easter Island megaliths or whatever.
Check.
Me.
Is that a little better
Bestie.
for people? Because we'll get going here in a bit. And don't feel like we're gonna ignore you guys in chat, but once we're gonna do a countdown and we'll do an intro and then we're gonna talk to LtChicken,
Shiro.
kind of interview him and find out his story from beginning to now. And then at the end, we'll open it up to questions for you guys in chat. If you guys have anything while we're chatting and you come up with some questions or that you'd like to ask any of us, really, towards the end of the podcast, we'll switch to that.
You know,
And it should be fun.
Dan, I probably should have mentioned it before, but I don't have an underscore in my username.
You don't? I thought you
No.
did. Well,
No.
hold on.
Where
can
was the
change this.
underscore?
It's on the stream. Fortunately, it's an easy fix, but I felt like I should mention it before we really got things kicked off.
The stream title doesn't. Oh, on the panel.
You
got it.
I see on the overlay or whatever. It's not my name.
There we go.
I'm
For some
not.
reason, I
I'm
thought there
typically
was.
picky about these kind of things, but
No.
You're not a diva, Ryan.
LT
It's
underscore
okay.
chicken X27. It'll be soon. People won't even get that reference of like, what's the X27 even mean? It's Richie now. Richie
Some of us will
X.
know.
What?
All right, so everybody start recording. Make sure there's no, we don't break anything.
Okay.
Check. All right, we're good.
We're all still here. Our computers are going,
Yeah. Computers having a hard time.
I'll turn the metronome on. Let's
right.
go.
So, Steph, would you
I
like to
did
do
that
the
one.
intro this week?
No, it's cool. This is a lot of pressure, you guys.
Okay.
A lot of pressure. Not.
How do you
not
think
enough
I'm
coffee
feeling?
yet.
I'll do the intro. So I'll start the countdown from
All right,
10.
Dan.
And chat, seriously, thank you for being here. This is exciting, and hopefully it goes all well. But yeah, so we'll start from 10 and go down. So 10, 9,
9,
8,
8,
7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
4,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
1.
Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Music Community Podcast. My name is Dan Drumstone, and this is a very special episode for two reasons. A, we have Mr. Lieutenant Chicken here, who is pretty much one of the patient zeros of the music community, and we're very excited to talk to him about his journey on Twitch and streaming music. But it's also our first live broadcast on the Saving Music live channel. So chat is with us, and this is kind of a really cool thing for me. It's like the music community is here too, So, and they're going to be part of this discussion at the end, and we'll kind of take questions for all of us from chat. And I don't know, it's very special. So chat from the beginning, thank you guys for hanging out and being a part of this. This is really cool. And Ryan,
Right on.
is it okay to call you Ryan
No,
on
that's
the podcast?
fine. Thank you guys so much for having me, by the way. It's an honor to be on this.
Oh, thank you.
The other episodes have been totally awesome. I like the title of Patient Zero. It's like an infectious music disease that's just gotten its way into Twitch.
It is
like a positive one.
Yeah.
There's your new username.
Lieutenant Patient Zero.
But man, thank you so much for being here, though. It's going to be an honor to kind of hear the beginnings of everything, and I'm very excited. But how's everybody doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
How's everybody's week so far?
Good.
Good, man. Good.
Can't
Totally
complain. We dodged
Yeah.
the flu, so we're fine in this house.
Nice,
Woo-hoo.
nice. Do you have a candle in your hand? Is that what that is?
Me, yeah, I'm fiddling with a fake tea light candle.
Oh, Allie and I just had a bunch of she did some crazy projects involving a bunch of these little lights, and now they're all over the place.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just put them all together and just let them go. I don't know how many we have left, but now the cat just has a bunch of toys.
Well, not
that
to scare
shine really brightly, and yeah.
not to scare you, Ryan, but I have a million questions here that
I'm
very
only
You have a
I'm only
sheet this
99%.
time.
I know. Well, I'm excited.
Scared.
There's a lot, that we can learn from Ryan. I don't know. It's going to be really cool. But
I
where
hope
did
so.
where did your music journey start?
Well, so I started playing guitar when I was 13, and back in high school, my buddy had started playing, and so I saw him play, and I was like, this is really cool. And I watched the podcast with two guys, two guys one couch, and Matt said, he initially started playing guitar to pick up chicks, and I can't deny that was part of the allure of learning to play initially. But then I started taking it seriously. Most people would probably know me for singing and playing acoustic stuff, but when I first started out, it was all just shred guitar, really fast, virtuoso nonsense.
Nice.
I like to think that I kind of grew out of it, I guess, and went on to a more even balance of musical stuff.
Yeah.
This is still cool, man. It takes a lot to learn how to do that stuff. I can't do it, and I have respect for anybody who can. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
maybe if I had a little bit more what's the word? I guess commitment to it, to sit down with a metronome every day, like some of these guys do, to learn to just play the same lick, 5 hours a day, every day, to be able to play that fast, that accurately.
Start at 40 BPMs.
Yeah, start. It's really slow. Start super slow until you can get 5,000 BPM like John Petrucci.
Yes.
3 million notes a minute.
Melt the sun.
Melt the sun. Okay, until you need special guitar strings that won't melt because you play so fast. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's Petrucci.
Well,
But it eventually evolved into just or devolved, I guess, into just strumming and singing Wonderwall and producing.
Nice. Well, when did you start?
Yeah.
When did you start singing?
It's always been kind of a thing there, but I can't really remember when it actually started. It's one of those gray spots where it feels like it's always been there, but I know for a fact that it hasn't always been there. So I sang backup with a band. I went out to California. I lived in Long Beach for a year and a half with a band. That we went out there to meet up with a producer that worked for Interscope Records, and we made some stuff. And I started singing backup with them. I guess I distinctly remember that, but I was singing before. I remember that. And then it's just later on, after that, I kind of stopped playing. That's when I stopped playing the shred guitar and started concentrating more on the singing, more on actual songs, and not just learning one lick from 5,000 songs. Let's
How
learn
old
a
are you
whole
at this
song,
point
Ryan.
now?
I had just turned 21.
21.
We were actually on the road when I was 21, on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
That's how I spent my 21st birthday, was in a van that was completely full of band equipment, like completely full. There's nowhere to sleep on a
Nice.
3-day drive, like across the nation from Maryland to California. That was my 21st birthday.
I want to hear this band now. I wish we had a clip of it. I really want to hear this. What kind of music was it?
It was like a kind of pop rock, like pop punk, like a kind of a
Okay.
mix between the
Cool,
two. It was nothing too hard to listen to. We were really going for just like, let's get a sound that'll sell. 'Cause I'm not ashamed
Yeah.
to say that.
Oh, man.
We were just going for a sound that would sell, and we did a decent job. Unfortunately, though, the way that story ends is that the our in with Interscope Records actually passed away of a heart attack.
No.
Actually,
Oh,
2 weeks after our first studio visit. So it was like
That's some
super duper
timing.
unfortunate. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like
that's nuts.
things can come crashing down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I've bounced back in a pretty awesome way.
That's
And
cool.
thanks to Twitch.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
No, please, Doc. Please.
That's one of the things I wanted to ask you, Ryan, is if you like right before Twitch, were you out gigging and playing, doing stuff, or had you kind of put things on the shelf for a little bit before Twitch?
I was doing open mics. I worked at as a waiter at a restaurant for 3 years or something, like figuring out what I wanted to do. Music was like slowly coming back as I I was in this kind of like 3D art phase for a little bit after the band, and before the band too. So I was like learning to do create props for game art. You know, you see that crate in Call of Duty? I wanted to make that crate. That would have been my job. I would have loved
cool.
it.
Nice.
But then I was like, the industry is like the art industry. Like both industries are super competitive. I always find it funny that I decided to leave one super competitive industry for another super duper competitive industry.
Yeah.
But I went to music. I was doing open mics at the restaurant that I worked at. But I've never been like the most super social person. I never really tried to. I was too afraid, I guess, to look for actual gigs like doing music. So I did that, and then I tried. That's why Twitch like made so much sense and was so easy. It was able to just like kind of do a gig without really the pressure of, you know, like it was a lot more freeform. It was really great to try that. It was really cool.
Nice.
But no live gigs beforehand.
What about now? Now that you've kind of gotten into a repertoire and kind of have some stuff that you do and that you and Allie both do together.
I'd like to. We just need to get it like a decent PA, and I feel like we could. I feel like we got. I know there's a market for it. So that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
That would
Cool,
be
man.
very cool. Did
Definitely
you?
have
Yeah.
the chops for it, dude. I just want to say,
Yeah.
on
Thanks,
behalf
man.
of probably everybody with even just one eardrum who was at the retreat, hearing really, and this kind of goes for everybody that was there, hearing people perform on Twitch is like really cool, and you hear how good they are, but hearing them in the room and feeling their energy, oh my gosh, man, hearing you, no matter who you were singing with, but especially when you and Allie would connect on some of the duos you did, was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So
It's a
you guys-
whole different animal.
Yeah.
It's like it's such a crazy thing to like performing in front of a ton of people in front of a camera. It's like completely different from performing in front of, you know, just 15 to 20 people. Like I'm sure you get super used to either. Like perhaps someone that's used to performing in front of a lot of real people might maybe be nervous performing to Twitch, you know, a different field. But the retreat was like so different. It was a really cool way to like, I don't know, get people used to that, like performing like
Yeah.
actually live.
Well, let's back up a little bit. So we know you were a working touring musician. We know you played live for people. When did you start Twitch? Was music on the radar when you started Twitch? And as your music has evolved on Twitch, how has that sort of complemented your lifestyle overall? Being the kind of person who, I mean, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but like, you're the kind of person whose mind goes in a million directions and you like to gather as much information as you can. And you're sort of a perfectionist. You know, that's why I think you like production.
These are all very
So-
true things.
So talk about that, your journey on Twitch and how that's complemented you instead of having to pigeonhole yourself into one industry.
Right. Well, when I started with Twitch, I'm not even sure if the music section was actually there. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. They called it it was like the beta of the first like actual music section. The only other person that I had really seen like doing any, I was actually inspired by it, Shauna Nina. She had some videos where she was playing games and like singing, like in Ark Survival Evolved. She would like join role play servers and just sing to them. So she was the true pioneer. She tried to devise ways to get around the terms of service, you might say, and still be able to perform. And once the actual music beta started, like on Twitch, let's go. Let's just try a stream where it's like just music. I had tried the video music inside of video games thing first. That was really the first thing I did with like games like Reign of Kings, or a lot of and like Gary's mod, Counter-Strike mods and things like that, and like singing to people over there.
Nice.
But then I just wanted to straight up just try to just do it right there.
How long ago was this?
It was, I think I started around February of 2014.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was early 2014.
Wow.
Maybe.
That's awesome.
It was a while ago. My the LtChicken account is from August of 2007.
Wow.
So it's a legacy Justin.tv
Blows
account.
my mind.
Yeah,
Did you ever stream on Justin TV?
Right. I wish I would have started back then. I was watching old podcast, like 4-player podcast. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them.
I've heard of it actually. Yeah.
They were streaming on Justin TV forever ago, and they had some of the most hilarious content. And I like dabbled in streaming a little bit, but it was a long time ago, and it would have been hard to convince my folks, like, hey, I'd like to play video games a lot.
I'm sure it was a lot harder to explain it back then too to people compared to now.
Yeah,
it's a completely different landscape.
The neat thing about music is that you people kind of understand that people do it for a living already. So it's a lot easier to convince people that you're a working musician than it is to convince people that you're a working gamer. It's a lot easier to convince people of that. So in that regard, it was definitely easier. It's probably why I stopped playing, like trying to do music in games, and just concentrate on the music too.
Yeah. Is that still kind of what you've been focusing more on production lately, though, haven't you?
Yeah. So lately, it's been I dabble in a lot of things, like all my overlay art I've done myself. I like just branching out into as many like different. For example, with production, like I went through a lo-fi hip hop phase, just like making tons of lo-fi hip hop. I'm in an orchestral phase, which I really like, which I really like. And there was like a traditional recording phase, a lot of different. So I try to like branch out and see what fits me the best. Production, I like a whole lot. And it's something that I've noticed about myself, is that sometimes when I sing, or when I do a lot of things, actually, even play games. I don't know if you guys have experienced, or anyone in chat has experienced something like this too. But sometimes when I sing, or if I play games, or if I do anything that, like, I guess you'd call a skill-based thing, I can be a little inconsistent. Some days I'll sound really, really good, and other days I won't like sound as good as I'd like to be. And with games too, some days I'll play really well, and some days I won't.
Yeah.
With production, I've noticed that each time I make something, I get like better and better and better at it. So that's really made me want to like lean towards trying that, because I know if I just keep at it, I know I can make some really awesome stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Good thing with good samples and stuff when you're doing production is that string pad is going to sound just like it did yesterday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I mean, of course, you can tweak things to make it sound different when you want to, but like the consistency is there in the box for you to just be creative with, and not rely on, oh my gosh, I hope my voice is going to do what I want it to do today.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe you guys know of some methods to get around that, but I guess we'll talk after the cast. But
yeah,
that's one of the main things that I like about production is, yes, you play, the C key on your piano, and it's gonna be C for you, no matter what instrument you've got, what patch you have it set up to. It's gonna do what you want, so you can come back. You can rely on that.
Unless there's new drivers, and then then you don't have
Oh no.
Bet
Windows
that
update
a
just
lot.
breaks everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you make the leap to doing this like as a full-time thing? And when did you realize like, wow, I can actually justify just doing whatever I want on the internet, like all the time, whenever I want?
It was about a year in. Yeah, about that. So I'd been working at the restaurant. Like, I would work, like, do a shift, and then get back at 11, and then just stream, like, music back then.
Yeah.
And about a year in, like, you guys know how generous people can be on this, how awesome people can be, how supportive they can be.
Oh yeah.
And so I have this mentality that it's like it's kind of like all or nothing. Like I got to do it 100% and just everything that I can and do it, or I'm not taking it seriously. So I made this switch, the decision about a year in to like go down to like the bare minimum that the restaurant would allow me. Luckily, they're really awesome people. So I went to the bare minimum just to see like not, I didn't want to completely quit right out, but the absolute bare minimum that I could, which is like 2 shifts a month or something like that. And so I stuck with that about a year in afterward. And I don't regret it.
It's very brave. Yeah. Like, you know, people always, when they're getting into the entertainment field, that's always, you know, people say, well, you got to go all in. And a lot of people want to do that, but it is so scary to just say, I don't know what's going to happen. There is no path, you know, that I'm going to survive or whatever. It is very risky. So that's very admirable. I can talk today, but that's awesome, man. That's very cool.
Fortunately, it's pretty easy to get a new job, you know, waiting tables. But you know, so there's always that temporary backup plan. But at this, like, it's one of the most stressful, horrible jobs. I really don't never want to do that again. And I'm just fortunate that I could make the escape.
Nice.
So one other thing I wanted to go ahead.
I was gonna say, but cooking seems to be something you enjoy.
Yeah, right.
We were all graced by a wonderful meal at the retreat. Compliments of Chef LtChicken.
That's one of the things that probably makes the restaurant job like slightly bearable is a love for food. I love food and cooking, and but it's completely different. If like I would never want to work in a kitchen in a restaurant. It's a completely different animal from like cooking for your friends and family, you know, making a meal for them, seeing them all happy, rather than working at a place where all this is expected of you and it's just pressure and it's just like churning out this food. Oh, I'd never want to do that. Every person that I've seen like cooking at a restaurant, seen a lot of them, they all look miserable. So
I want to kind of rewind a little bit because I had a few questions about like early streaming. We all have the luxury of bots and stuff like that to assist us with our streams and dealing with song requests and all that stuff. How did you deal with that in the very beginning when you first started your stream, like your first kind of format, you know, because we've all everyone we've had on this podcast pretty much, and everyone that we talk to, even at the retreat or whatever, has said, I saw this person, LtChicken, or, you know, Richie, and these early people and Shayna, like, how did you guys figure out like a structure in the beginning, or how does it differ from now, I guess is my question. I'm very curious.
Oh, at the beginning, there was no structure. It was just like kind of throw whatever, like just say it in chat. And if I see it at the right time, then I'm going to play it.
Got it.
But as you probably know, that there's like tons of, you'd be amazed the variety of like people with skill sets that you meet on Twitch, like as regulars in your chat. And there've been like, first it was someone named Orbitus, who actually developed a bot for me. He was the first guy that developed like a bot for like organizing song requests, and it was like completely proprietary and very basic, but it worked. Mm-hmm. After that, it was Riao developing Riao bot. Yep. Which I'm sure you guys know, which is awesome. So it's like that's one of the things, like such a wealth of resources in like community, and that's how that worked out. Yeah. But it was the Wild West at first. It really was.
Because the other thing
gun shooting.
Yeah, I was thinking of like, you know, I'm only a year in, and Steph, you're about your 2 year is up in like
On
2 days,
Monday.
right? 3
2
days?
years.
Yeah, 4 days. What day is it?
Dang.
I can't believe it. It's just flown.
But I feel,
Flies.
I feel fortunate to have started when there's already this established kind of core of people in the community, viewers that know about music, and when they discover a new stream, they're excited. How was the response from the Twitch viewers, which were pretty much mostly gamers in that beginning? How was that? Like just the atmosphere, the vibe?
A lot of people saying Twitch is for games, coming in.
Yeah?
They're like,
Nice
No,
gameplay.
stop. I had Casey Tron came into my stream really early on and did an offline host and brought some people in, and they were like
Snap.
semi-toxic, Casey Tron.
Yeah, her chat can be a little nuts, but I really like her personally.
Yeah, no, she's awesome, but it was like,
It's hilarious.
it was music was like completely unheard of back then, so it was kind of like just this meme thing. First thing, Amino was the big meme back then. Amino. So she just like it was that, and I think what was the other? It was that and something else. It's probably just Wonderwall. Wonderwall is like the never-ending meme that'll just the gift that keeps on
Which
giving.
sucks for people who really seriously like the song.
I like
me.
So yeah, that was the initial push was kind of like it was basically that, just people not entirely understanding, but also a lot of people coming in and really like appreciating too. It was it was really cool. I feel like if I had my setup more figured out back then, because I still have some some VODs from all the way back then, and it sounded so bad. But if I had more stuff like figured out right from the get-go, it could have been different. That's not to say it was terrible though. If it was terrible, I'd have stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a rite of passage to have to work those things out. It's a constant cycle of, self-evaluation and improving and, trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of segues. I did want to talk to you about your approach to becoming a full-time streamer and in monetization. There's a lot of approaches to that. And in music, I feel like more so than the gaming community, often there is this sort of like pay for play kind of approach.
Right.
A lot of the time, pay and song request, tip and get a song request kind of a thing. I mean, what is your take on that? How did you just learn to value your time, and how did you learn to find a balance between doing what you like and what kind of like keeps you engaged and having fun and keeps the view count up, and also sort of meeting those demands when people want to be generous and might want to hear something?
Well, it's kind of always been the golden standard. It's like have regular song requests, and if somebody wants to be generous, that they can also be rewarded by having their song request like bump to the top. Like, I'll play yours next. Initially, that was all done, I guess you'd say, by hand. Just be like, hey, if somebody donates, then whatever you got, I'm gonna play whatever's in the donation request. That got a lot more controlled once like bots came to be a thing, and you could then give people like a song request a month if they sub or something like that they can use whenever they want. The generosity of people is really what carries things though, because some people will like be generous enough to donate 5. Some people will be generous enough to donate 50 or 100 if they really like it, and like that if that happens often enough, it that's the kind of thing that makes it possible to do this. Is like generous people like that. It's all about the community. It's all driven by that, and driven by the people that come in and watch and listen and love. Is that kind of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of community, when did you notice kind of a community forming of music streamers? When did, or like just people in chat, like when did it start to hit you that, oh man, it's not just one streamer here, one streamer there. It's like a group that's kind of starting to form and get together.
Well, when I started, it was La French Stallion was like, he's the only one that I can think of that was actually playing like anything akin to music back then. 8-Bit Drummer very shortly followed after him, and I also noticed Chase a little bit afterwards as well.
I've
And,
heard of Chase. I think I've heard of Chase.
Yeah, Chase Egglestein. I don't know.
Yeah.
You might have the Lord of Count von Egglestein, the big castle out in, I don't know, Romania, the Ohio castle. When I started noticing like the same people in all of those streams, it quickly became apparent that there's like just like any game on Twitch, really, you'll notice people kind of like that stick around the same game and like the same couple streamers. It's the same thing with music. People come here for a reason, and if they're gonna like one music streamer, chances are they're gonna like another music streamer.
That's cool.
And that started really early on.
Speaking of streaming music, I did see a question in the chat. If y'all want to take some time to address it, just a general question. Wondering some tips for new music streamers, people who are thinking about doing music. What do you think, Ryan?
Well, the first thing, if you when you start streaming, streaming music, one of the first things you should do is make sure you get an invite to the music Discord, the music community Discord, and get in on that. And and introduce yourself. Any questions you have, people can answer there. Like T Cook still posts there of a couple streams like pretty often. Loves answering like technical question stuff, anything like that. Otherwise, just hang out in people's streams. Yeah. Keep a strict schedule. Be nice.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Yeah, connect with folks. When did the music Discord start? I think that may touch a little bit on part of Dan's question. When did the music streamers, their community with each other, kind of start to form? When did that start, Ryan? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure Ali started it up, right? Yeah. Richie X27.
Shout out to
the
Richie.
The Richie, formerly known as Richie X27, started it up. I don't remember when though. Maybe she.
I think it was last year. It's not super old.
Right. So a little birdie just informed me that it was when communities were first unveiled on Twitch, and so as soon as we actually got a music community, when they went global. Oh, a little birdie just informed me that it was when they went global, whatever that means. And she started it up. She was the first to start that, and it's been a boon to everything.
I think it is really good advice to network and connect with others, not just to be inspired by them, but also because as a community, there's a lot of power in being able to collaborate with folks, whether it's for individual collaborations or charity collaborations. It's great to know who else is out there doing what you're doing, so you can share what you have with them and bolster them. Mm-hmm. And that, a rising tide raises all ships. So in that kind of sense, you could be a lone wolf, but there is a lot of value in reaching out and connecting and engaging with others. I didn't have a strict schedule when I started out, but I had 2 kids, so it was kind of a unique situation. But I feel like just getting in there and giving it what you have, and not getting so caught up on being a perfectionist that you give up before you start. Because I think a lot of people have those moments where they sit in front of OBS fiddling with their overlays and their scenes, and
I've been there.
Maybe they don't have. Yeah, we all have that anxiety, or like you don't have your song list maybe at first. Or like when Doc started, he only had like 4 songs, but you just have to keep treading in those vulnerable waters, and the more often you do it, that it's going to build. It's going to build. If you show up and give your best, I find somebody is going to receive that best.
Mm-hmm.
And that networking, if you need help with something, technical, whatever, that's when that can really become valuable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I always tell people, if I can throw this out there again, if you guys have listened to any podcasts, the 2 biggest things I try to tell anybody that's looking at going into streaming is love what you do, love what you're doing, and love the ones you're with. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, quit it. Don't do it because you're desperate for money or attention. You got to be able to enjoy what you're doing. But the second thing is, you have to love the ones you're with. If you don't have 50 people or 100 people show up right away, that's okay. You need to love those 2 or 3 people that show up at your first stream. You need to be kind. You know what I'm saying? Be welcoming. Be like, hey, thanks for taking the time to hang out with me here.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to grow your community, is a place where people feel like they can connect and you're accessible and you care and all that kind of stuff. So love what you're doing and love the ones you're with. And that's music or gaming, no matter what it is. Do that, and over time, you'll see your community grow, even if you're not the absolute most talented person out there. You don't have to compare your talent. You don't have to compare your gaming skills. Just enjoy what you're doing, and people will want to hang out with you.
Yeah. I tell my... Oh, go ahead.
Fortunately, it makes it a lot easier that the music community is especially like loving and connected. I mean, I've seen things that the music community has pulled off that I don't think would be possible in any other like collective community on Twitch. And I definitely, it's a fact.
Yeah.
More or less than an opinion, and it's a fact. Seeing what you guys are all capable of.
Yeah,
It's
I want to
amazing.
get into that a little later. But I tell my students, because I see it in, early musicians, they're afraid to go in front of people and make a mistake. They don't want people to see them make a mistake. And I tell them that's how you get better, and that's how you learn. Your brain learns from learning what not to do, and it's not going to learn if you don't make those mistakes. So yeah, if you start streaming and you don't know what you're doing, you'll learn. And people respect that, and they notice when you get better. And it's fun for viewers too to see, as a broadcaster, you mature and you get better at it. So make
People
mistakes.
are very helpful too. They become invested in you, and they want to see you succeed, and they become invested in that success, and they like to help. I mean, I remember my first few streams, it was like that troubleshooting, they loved doing that. It wasn't so much fun for me, but people stepped up and they were willing to help. And I noticed, like, even if you just ask, that you're always going to find somebody that's willing to give you a hand up.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah. I want to address something in chat real quick. North Carolinian's a good friend of mine, but I think you may be misunderstanding something. I think that what Random Girl Singing is saying is completely different and unique from most of the young people, and even some of us married dudes who have kids who are on Twitch. When my kid gets sick, my wife's at home and takes care of him. It doesn't pull me away from my normal schedule. And what Stephanie was saying was that as a stay-at-home mom with kids and a newborn, she wasn't able to set just like a regular schedule necessarily and always stick to it, because when life comes up as the stay-at-home mom, like, that pulls her away. So that is definitely a unique thing that makes it different from what we would normally tell people. Try to set a schedule and stick to it. She's just saying she wasn't able to do that, and I can completely get that, because my wife wouldn't be able to either, because she's the one that cares for our kids while I'm working. So there is a difference there. So Stephanie, I think you've done an incredible job of growing your community and becoming, who you are on Twitch with people and connecting, even though, especially early on when your kids were even younger, it was more difficult for you. So you've done a fantastic job.
Empathy. Thanks for that empathy, Doc. And yeah, I guess at the root of that comment, I didn't mean, that I was special in that unique sense. I just, in fact, let's even strip that away and just look at everybody has their own things. Ryan was working a job. Dan, a lot of us work. You and Dan both work, and have children. And we do all have to figure out what we were going to do. But even taking that away, there is a lot of emphasis sometimes placed on keeping a schedule. And for me, sometimes that I gave up before I even could begin, because if I couldn't say I was going to show up at a certain time and then show up, I had a lot of anxiety about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or I had a lot of anxiety saying, okay, I'm going to be here Wednesday at 7. And then, I'm getting anxiety about that Wednesday at 7, and then also having to let people down
Right.
if something comes up, or personally, I don't feel like I can show up and be the best version of me at the time. So I guess I do know that for a lot of people, a schedule is really beneficial. But I would urge people who are thinking about getting started to stream to maybe not get so hung up on that if they don't have to. Because you might free yourself up to just bring your best when you can. And there still might be people who appreciate that. And whenever you do show up, they will be there for you. That was really kind of more what I meant going into there.
Yeah.
And either way, I've seen you make some crazy sacrifices to stream, like streaming at the all hours,
Yeah.
like super late at night or super early in the morning. Like
It's late for me and you're still on sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I get up at 4 a.m. I get up at 4 a.m. to stream so that I can
Yeah.
show up for my family too. So I appreciate that being recognized, and that, you know,
Yeah.
you just have to do what you have to do. You know what I mean? If it's important to you, you will prioritize it and you'll make it happen.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't prioritize it if it wasn't fun and beneficial for me too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a great balance to shoot for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan, I had a
Yes.
question. When was the first time you got together with other music streamers? Because I don't think last year's TwitchCon was your first. I think you've probably been to a few of them, but I was curious, like that first kind of get together or whenever that happened, and what was that like?
Honestly, it was probably Richie. I can't think of anyone else before her that I had really like collaborated with.
Yeah.
And if it counts, the first collaboration was actually this weird like Skype jam thing we used to do.
remember
That was
those
really
days.
like it was really like one way, but it worked for what it was. It was basically you'd be on Skype with somebody, and one of them would be streaming. The person that wasn't streaming had to play and sing a song all on their own, while the other person, the person that was actually streaming, had to mute their microphone on Skype and sing along with them. So the stream, like once it all got to the stream, it was
Synced up.
in sync. It was perfect.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
How long did it take you to troubleshoot and figure all of that out?
I don't.
And it actually sounded pretty good. Honestly, it sounded decent,
Well,
you know?
it stemmed from like if you can play along to a YouTube video,
Yeah.
you can play along to someone on Skype. So it stemmed from that. Like, and like I had some days where I would just like play guitar along to like YouTube videos and just jam out. And so I figured, why not just have one person singing and then another person kind of like overlaying some like guitar noodly stuff and some harmonies and stuff like that. And it worked out, but like it was just a compromise like we had to make because we weren't in the same spot. It is infinitely better to play with someone like that's actually in the room with you and be able to like work off them. But if you really want to collaborate with someone, and this is a pretty easy way to do that, just to like try to be able to just play along. It was really cool. It was really cool to do that. Other streamers that I met before TwitchCon, Gorgor Gibson ended up living really close to me. He's
awesome.
moved since. We like hung out with like Allie and I. She's right over there. I keep pointing over there and looking over there. She's right over there.
Hi, Allie.
But we ended up hanging out with them. I can't think of anyone else that I met like in person before before TwitchCon.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Now,
Ryan, can you high five me on screen?
Okay, let's
Let's see.
on stream. It's gonna have to be
Other
like, wait,
one.
it's gonna have to be over here.
Other
Then.
hand
Right
there.
here,
There you
Steph.
go.
Okay.
Let's-
I'm just gonna
virtual
wait for it
high
to. Hold on, I'm gonna wait for it to
Should I
show
look
up.
down at you guys? I don't mean to.
Steph's leaving me
No,
hanging.
it's the other
Steph's
one. Yeah,
leaving me
yeah.
hanging.
There we go.
I don't know which
There it is.
hand. This one?
Oh, there we go.
No, am I? No,
Other
this
hand.
one
Other
here.
hand. Yes.
There.
There you go.
The other hand.
Yeah, it's mirrored
all
on my
like
Discord.
flipped.
See, this is the
all
only
like-
kind of thing that you can.
It's
that
like
you
a
can
Brady
do.
Bunch thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
very
for the
awkward.
commercial break. We were in the
Right.
middle of some great conversation, and I just my 4-year-old brain went off somewhere.
No, it's perfect.
Doc's like,
if
"Squirrel!"
if you have the opportunity to do something like that, you have to do that. So.
It's gonna be a very bizarre podcast to listen to, probably.
Oh right.
Well, what it should do is get people to actually come watch it on video because they're going to realize they missed some stuff if they
Yep.
don't come watch it live. So
If you don't understand what we just did, watch the video.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I shampooed my little beard this morning too, so you know.
Oh yeah.
I knew we were gonna be on video.
Just- you got all purdied up.
Yeah.
I did. No, I didn't.
Now you
Ryan,
mentioned
I woke up this way.
you mentioned really enjoying producing, and you've really been enjoying streaming that in that process. I have a bunch of questions about that. But when did you start getting that itch to do that in your journey through music?
Initially, it was the very first things that I'd ever really worked on were like some like parody covers of songs. I did like a Star Wars version of Africa by Toto called Alderaan. It's like, I miss my friends down in Alderaan. Like it was about the deaths, like, and so I really wanted to make these tracks because I liked doing parody stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I really wanted like a good quality version and to make a video for YouTube. That was like that was like the ultimate. I thought it'd be best to just learn it myself, and that's typically how I approach a lot of things. If I can do it myself, I really want to do it myself. My car's alternator conked out on me. I learned how to do it and did it myself. And
I watched that stream.
You streamed it?
Yeah, I streamed car work. That was a nightmare. Oh my god.
Was there a lot of backseating?
No, there was like Twitch comes through and people came into the stream and helped me out. It's the best. No matter what you do, people are gonna come into the stream and hopefully be able to help you and not try to backseat as much, but be like, hey, you know, try it this way or make suggestions. That's the best thing about streaming on Twitch is that no matter what you do, someone is like gonna come in that is a fan of what you're doing. And be able to like help out.
Yeah, if I did that, my wife would. She doesn't usually come into chat, but she'd come in and chat and be like, "Take it to a mechanic. What are you doing?"
Now, Ryan, was the alternator thing? I missed that. Was that before or after the Beanie Cam point of view?
That was way before.
Point of view cam. Oh, okay.
I replaced the alternator like 5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less,
nuts.
but the radiator's coming up soon. I gotta replace that.
Oh,
the sequel. The
The
sequel.
Leaking coolant everywhere. Time to have a stream replacing that thing.
So we established you're a perfectionist. You're very, you like to make sure that's why you like production. I mean, did you find challenges with live streaming because of that, having to like not know what was going to happen next or just on the fly do stuff? Did Twitch improve you, in that sense? Did you find that Twitch actually kind of like helped you grow as a person in any ways, like become more adaptable or flexible or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, like overcoming challenges like that and the myriad of challenges that were brought on from figuring out the best way to do a Twitch stream definitely that definitely helped. Like, just me as a person, absolutely. I unfortunately it still hits me a lot. Like I'll be looking at the overlay of the stream PC and I'm like looking at one little thing. It's like, oh, what if I tried this one little thing? And then I'll open up Photoshop and then the stream will be 3 hours late because I wanted to do this one little thing, and I ended up getting caught up in. It's just still trying to work past that. Oftentimes it's better to just stream.
Just do it.
It's really it's so hard though. It's so hard.
I think that's a great mentality though, in the opposite regard. That you're constantly thinking of something better or something that you'd like to change. I think that's very healthy for a creator, whatever you're doing. It is a struggle sometimes, but in the same point, that active mind that's just constantly wanting to do better, wanting to get better, you have different ideas and you never settle. I think that's huge for any kind of creation. So,
well, I've always said I've like a little saying for it. Like, what I make may not have much meaning, but it's going to look and sound great.
Nice.
No matter what, that's the ultimate. I can at least do that.
Well, what are you most excited about as far as just like the potential or you see maybe coming in the future with regards to Twitch or Twitch music or really just Twitch in general? Since you do a variety of things on Twitch, what are you most excited about? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it grow and perhaps like the music thing becoming a bit more mainstream, like more people figuring out about it. Like the thing, I feel like there's going to be an event in the future that will happen that will make like everything just absolutely blow up as far as like Twitch music is concerned. I've had ideas to like, I don't know, maybe get someone a little bit more known, like, and make them at gunpoint do a stream. That something like that I feel like is definitely going to happen. And to anyone that wants to stream, you should get in now. You should do it right now and start streaming, because I have a feeling like even disregarding that, like the community is always looking for like fresh blood,
Yeah.
Yeah.
new talent. It's like it's not. I thought like a year ago, like things would be exploded and be super saturated, but it's still like really fresh and talent's super exciting to see.
Yeah, when I kind of came into really watching music channels, there were really only, and there were probably more out there, but maybe during the times of the day I was watching, there was really only 15 to 20 that I would find that were live music. Now there's a lot of
Yeah.
DJ music and production, but like
And
people
in
playing-
English,
radio
you know?
streams.
Yeah.
there were only 15 to 20 that I could find back, and that was a little over a year ago. But just in the last week, I think I've seen a dozen new streamers come into the music community, or the music Discord, or I've just gotten tweets from friends saying, "Hey, check out this new streamer," and it's like, whoa! I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork, and some of them are full-time gigging touring musicians that are really good, and they've got a great thing they're bringing. It's like, dang, this is happening quick. It's snowballing quick.
Yeah.
I just think
definitely
all the new, the new people that are coming in, they're bringing viewers, they're bringing in, their own audience, and it's just going to grow in general. Everyone that is in the community, numbers, it's not just one new streamer, they send it out to their friends, and, they get involved, and I think that's
snowballs really quick. It's
a big
an
thing.
exponential thing.
Yeah. So the more the merrier.
Even when you become even when you become a little better known too, you're still not meeting everybody, because you're not streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and maybe somebody just didn't click on your thumbnail. Maybe somebody broadcasts at a different time or in a different category than you.
Yeah.
Or somebody brings their family over from YouTube. We've had a couple people who are really successful, who had very successful followings on YouTube, like Maluka, Lara 6683, Bina Bianca 89. Both of those, all three of those women had, very popular YouTube channels and successfully integrated their communities over here. And I've gotten rated by all of them, and a lot of new viewers and a lot of new friends from those raids, So even though I was a little better established at the time, I benefited from all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it is really cool how the community continues to give back.
It is
to each other.
It is getting harder for me to when I'm like, okay, I got, an hour or half an hour to kind of just relax, and I'll watch some Twitch, if I get a break here. It's so hard to pick who to click on, because, and I've met so many awesome people. I'm like, these are all my friends. Why can't they just be together? It's like, that is so cool though. There's so many options. It's like living in a town where there's, one pizza place that you have to go to because that's it, and that's what you got. Or you could live in a town where there's 30 pizza places, and they're all awesome, but it's like a healthy kind of competition. They all want to keep doing better. That whatever pizza place you're going to go to is going to be great. So it's really awesome to have
and
those
as a viewer,
options.
you can have lots of pizza places open in your browser at one time.
You can.
Yeah.
Multiple monitors. You can eat so many pizzas at once.
You could tell I'm hungry.
Great.
Who has inspired you, from a creative or even production level or whatever? Who are some of the people on Twitch, Ryan, that you've seen their broadcast and said, I gotta up my game, or I should up my game, because that's amazing.
And why is it Richie? I got your back.
Scene of action music.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
He's actually the one that got me into production in the first place. When I saw him doing okay, this one man is creating these amazing compositions and these shows to go with it. That's what tipped me over the edge to be let me try doing this myself. Awesome.
Yeah.
Him, Chase as well. Chase Eagleson has some crazy good production value.
Yeah.
Just the general sound of things and the way his stream works out, it's really good. People tend to like more chill, I think, sometimes, and less more crazy aggressive stuff. It needs to be easy to listen to if you're gonna just sit in a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
So I think those two folks, you guys as well. Oh my goodness.
Aw.
Love y'all. And yeah, Richie, I'm looking at her right now. Here, come do this.
Yeah. That's true. Like what Scene of Action, what he's doing, that's what I see, in it might not be like a year's time, but in a few years, what's going to happen, I think, just the production level of a stream from bands and in general, just it's going to be insane what people can do now with a computer, It's going to be very cool.
He's got easily the best production value on Twitch. Like, there's no one comes actually even close on the entire platform to the level of like production value he's put into his stream.
Yeah, for those of you,
I can't think of anybody. If anyone in chat can,
yeah,
but I honestly can't. Honestly can't.
He has multi-camera setups, and he programs. Like Ryan said, he writes the songs himself. They're all his compositions, all original stuff, and he programs lighting and camera switching all to each song, which is basically what bands do when they go on tour. They'll have a song that's in Pro Tools or Logic, and then they have a lighting program that also corresponds with that song and camera switches. So when he's on the verse, there's a camera here. When he's playing a guitar solo, he's got a camera on his guitar, and it's all pre-programmed. And when he hits start on that song, it's a production. The amount of time that goes into something like that is a testament of the potential for what people can do on here, and it's very inspirational.
It's just one guy, but it looks like there is a big crew involved.
There is some amazing production quality. There's also some amazing broadcasting quality too. The ability for people to connect with other people on Twitch. Not everybody has to aspire to that level of production, even though I think we should all shoot for the moon. You know what I mean? And definitely I take inspiration from that stuff. But I feel like it's important to keep in mind that Twitch is very much a place where the broadcaster is very important, and your ability to connect and resonate with people is also very important. And if that's something that people can do well, and especially with IRL being open, I just think everybody should stream. You know what I mean? I just feel like everybody should start streaming. And Ryan, I've heard you say the same thing before on your stream. You're always encouraging people to start. You're like, everybody should stream. This is great. This is wonderful. But it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can do it. I've met so many people that I think could, that I'd really like them to, but just need a little bit of coercion. Gotta see some of the stuff.
There's different, kind of like with what you're saying, Steph. There's different types of inspiration that I've gotten from different channels. Seeing Scene of Actions for me visually, I thought it was a music video. I didn't realize this guy was singing live. I was like, what? This isn't live. There's no way. I mean, just the visual thing. But then, I've been inspired for the longest time by Chase and Ryan. Both of you guys were two of the first channels that I found that the warm visual look that you guys would achieve. Even though Chase would kind of move like from week to week, he would just kind of move things in the different corner of the room. But
he's
but
really
just
good at that.
Kind of that warm
that threw me
glow,
off so much when I first started watching him. Like, where is he now?
It's not the same place every time.
But that sort of that chill visual, you know what I'm saying? Like that inspired me on that level of things. Stephanie, your stream has always inspired me. That it made me want to find a way to feel more relaxed and not like I have to go from song to song to song. Because when I watch your stream, you're just like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah,
you're just
you have to relieve that pressure. So it's sustainable. I appreciate that.
You make me want to be that way. Pint Sized Fun is one of the first streamers. She came along a little bit after I did, but she doesn't mind just laughing and being a little goofy and just being like, this isn't. Hey, I'm Pint. And I was like, gosh, I want to be able to, because I'm kind of a cut up with my friends too. Like I want to be that, So I felt inspired by her in that way. There's so many different levels of inspiration from different channels, and I think it's cool when we can all go watch and listen and go, man, I want to emulate that. I respect that.
when it comes to Twitch too, it's like it's a pretty general rule that people connect more with the actual person than they do with the music. It's about the music too, but it's more about the personality that people like can connect with. You know, you don't have to be a fantastic musician to be a successful like music streamer. You can all you have to do is be able to connect with people and, you know, give people a second home.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Man,
Really
amen.
that's what it all comes down.
That's a good point.
Second home. That'd be a great name for a channel. Somebody go get that right now. Second home.
Looking it up.
GoDaddy.com.
It's mine.
Sorry, unless you've got a time machine, that content is unavailable.
Did you guys ever notice, you know, though, like when you first started, maybe you had a little bit more of a, I don't want to say the term mask, maybe a little bit, a little removed from it. I noticed that I opened up a lot more. You know what I mean? Like I was able to just sort of like Doc saying, just like, you know, chill out and sort of just like be yourself. I felt like when I started, maybe I started under a pretense or whatever. And slowly I kind of opened up to where it was just me and it was just like natural. Did you guys find that at all too?
I
Like, you know, it starts out as a performance, then it's like, oh, well, this is just me.
Well, this started off for me as this was my, like, I wanted to do this for fun. I just wanted to log in and play songs that I didn't hate, you know? And
that's the way it should start.
Yeah. So
every time.
I don't know. I felt really relaxed. I think a lot of the people that came into my chat at first were people that I knew from playing, you know, games or, you know, friends and stuff. So I felt very just like I was hanging out with my friends in the beginning. And I think that really helped make it easy for me too. And I think the people that I didn't know that first started coming into my chat were just as cool as my friends were. So I did feel really I felt like myself, but I've definitely opened up more for sure since Twitch, you know, like I don't ever talk about feelings, you know, to my friends. But, you know, like yesterday I was stressed and I was like, man, you guys are helping, you know, I just feel better. Thank you. You know, like that's something I wouldn't say to my friends, you know, or my students. I don't go in and be like, I'm so stressed today, blah, 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 you know, but So
I guess I just feel like you get more comfortable, you know, like kind of like when you start a speech, like public speaking in front of a class.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay, people are watching me. So I have to be, you know, I can't mess up or this or that. And then after a while, I was just sort of like, I've been standing up here for 2 years now. It's like no big deal, you know, like the repetition, you can slowly start to get more comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely do feel more comfortable than when I started, or more natural with just, I guess.
If anyone's having issues with that, one good tip is to never look at the viewer count. I always turn that off whenever I stream.
Yeah.
I want to act the exact same way in front of 10 people as I do in front of 100 people. So I never ever look at that number. It can be useful. Don't get me wrong. Like sometimes it's a good metric. But I think in terms of like a performance and being yourself, being yourself, it's good. It's good to turn that off. Yeah. At least for me. Yeah. Does it? Do any of you guys do that?
I turned mine off. Yeah, about 3 months into it for the same reason, man.
Yeah.
It was like if I saw, because at the time when, you know, if you're running 15, 18 viewers is your typical thing, right? When you first for me, when I was first getting going, if it would drop from, you know, if only 8 people left, if it would drop from 18 to 10, I'd be like, oh gosh, was it something I said? Was that a bad song? Should I take it off the list? Did my voice crack? You know, it's like all
none of those things.
Yeah,
none of those things.
Literally, like
exactly.
Coincidental.
It's just 8 people who happen to stop in for a minute and keep going, which is going to happen too.
Or dinner was ready.
You don't notice 8 as much if you're running, you know, 98 and 8 people leave. You don't feel like a bunch of people just walked out, you know. But I just have left it off. I'll look at my stats after stream.
Yeah.
And go, okay, well, I had a big spike here. Well, that's from that host that I got. Or, oh, there was a big dip there. Did I go on a tangent right there? Or, you know, like maybe I shouldn't do that anymore, you know, but only if it's a huge dip or a huge spike like that. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, here, you know, we're better this week than we were last week.
If you're truly curious, just look at the spikes and the dips, the peaks and the valleys, and then look at the VOD and use the timestamps in the VOD and figure out what might have happened there, but don't let it affect the current stream.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah.
During
I
the
think
current
it helped me when I used to look at it at first it helped inform me and encourage me to let loose and talk a little more, because I noticed that sometimes I would like start talking and then it'd go way up and I'm like, oh. Or my original content, I would notice that I would be really into doing an original song and it would spike like way up, and that just encouraged me like, wow, people really do like my stuff. I need to do more of my stuff. These days, I more take the approach that you guys do, because also I don't want a dip in numbers. If I'm having a really good time and engaging with my chat and I'm really into the moment and just having fun, I don't want to let a dip make me question myself. You know what I mean? I want to stay in my zone, keep giving my best to my people, and just stay happy. I don't need to be thrown off by some number, you know?
I focus on chat. Like, that's to those people, like Ryan said, if it's 10 or 100, those people that are engaging you in chat, that's what I focus on. That to me is, if there's only 2 people talking, I want to talk to them, and if there's a bunch of lurkers, that's awesome. That's awesome. But when I see those names pop up, I know their faces to me, it's like seeing your friends walk in the door. You're like, oh man, hey, what's up? And pretend there's 100 people outside. Who cares about them if, don't focus on them. Focus on who's in your house, who's talking with you, to me, that's what I've really focused on. And I do look at the numbers after, I think that it is fun to go back, but, every now and then I do say in chat, I'm like, I don't know if anybody's here, but I'm having a good time, because that at the core of it, if you focus on the numbers, it does affect, I think, the way you think about yourself and the way you're putting yourself out there. I really do think that it affects you.
Did you guys see? We just had a donation come through, by the way. $20 donation came through. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
We have to set up all the alert for me. I think I should put up here. Maybe at the end we can shout everybody out. That'd
be a good way to do it, and then we can talk about Mr. Holland's opus.
Which I want to. That's the next thing before we do questions. I want to talk about starting in where Saving Music Live, kind of started for you, and then, how December was, those feelings, and, Richie, if she wants to come in and kind of say something too, or, and then the retreat that just happened. It's been a really awesome past couple months for the community coming together and doing something really cool. Where did that all start?
Really cool. So, a while back, I can't remember it exactly, but it was early last year, was the song swap. So it all started with an idea from Sloth Time Lord to, okay. I'm being corrected.
Well, there was 2 ideas that happened at the same time. I know Richie and some other folks were kicking around the idea of doing a charity kind of live streaming ongoing thing. And at the same time, Sloth Time Lord was also really interested in doing like a song swap where we traded original music and covered each other's works. That's how I remember it. I remember it was a couple of separate things, but then efforts were kind of combined.
Yeah,
that was the way I remembered it.
I just remembered. I spent quite a long time on my little thing for the song swap. So I guess that's just where most of my memory lies. But it's all happened around the same time, anyways. Saving Music Live was created back then, and the decision to start to support Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation started back then as well. All around the same time as the song swap and the idea to go to charity as well. I'd like to do another song swap. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna feature that song that you did for that. You should have already heard it if you're listening to the audio portion.
Yeah,
we're gonna put it in the beginning.
And thank you so much.
But how was
like
the launch of the channel for you and Allie? I know it had to be very stressful. But when you started to see the community come together and the reactions and just overall, like how did you guys feel about that?
Well, Allie did so much work
Yeah.
for that. She worked her butt off. She basically didn't stream for like 2 weeks or something like that, maybe even a little bit longer on her own channel, just to make sure that everything was scheduled. Richie just made sure everything was copacetic, and if there was a slot that needed to be filled, guess who filled it? She did.
Yeah. No.
and me with her sometimes, but that's the Saving Music Live thing is her baby. Essentially, and the launch like went so well. Couldn't have gone better, and it's a cool thing to have for the Twitch Music Retreat as well. It's really awesome.
Yeah, like
we owe her a great deal.
Yes. You can see her hand.
Yeah.
But it is really awesome to see just everyone that came together, both from the viewers and community and just streamers that stepped up. And the sign-up sheet, I remember, filled up pretty quick for December.
Yeah.
I felt kind of lucky that I got in there quick. But
I think the way it worked out is that like the launch event was all scheduled out, but there were like openings like to do after the launch. It was like 3 times a week, I think, for the next 4 weeks or so, a period of time like that. And like there were openings there, but as soon as the launch started happening, just everybody wanted to jump aboard, and it was really cool to see people so gung ho about getting together and really wanted to like I don't know, raise money for this cause.
Yeah,
it's super cool.
Yeah, and you know when I was standing by you when we hit the 25,000, and your reaction kind of spoke volumes to me of how much it meant to you and. I just wanted to say thank you because I feel like, you're one of those people that first started out and, all of us that just came after you, you've set the bar like so high, and you might not know it, but, you've affected so many people that are in chat or, that have started streaming or want to stream. You're like their first kind of taste of what they could do, so you've inspired a ton of people. Yeah. So thank you
and
for
to
that.
be so welcoming to people too, you're one of their first music experiences. And I remember you being so kind and welcoming. Yeah. Like, oh, so he has seen my channel.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. And he's saying that I'm decent to all of his people, just to come into an existing community.
Yeah.
Who are there, welcome you with open arms and bolster you like immediately.
Yeah.
That really sets the tone for new people coming on board. So, now we're looking at it a few years into it, and it's a really great thing. So you as being one of the first people.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Set the tone.
Yeah. I don't know. I got like this just sense of pride when that number was hit from you. Like, wow, like it was really cool just to be in that room.
It was it was exciting. Like just a couple months ago, I really didn't think it'd be possible. I totally underestimated the music community. Like at that point in time, it just seemed like such an unfathomable goal to me. But but like everyone worked their butt off to make it happen. It's great. Doc starting up the initial idea for the retreat, like big chunk of it came from that, and that was a truly magical experience. That was just so awesome. It was wonderful. What I got us for, at least for musicians, definitely like a TwitchCon version 2.
Yeah.
Some would say even better than that.
2.1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so.
For sure.
The community grew about at least 10 times since TwitchCon 2016 to TwitchCon 2017. There were so many more musicians, an unbelievable amount. But then again, back in TwitchCon 2016, even creative was in its infancy. I don't think the creative section had actually even been launched back then.
Yeah, there was no like creative corner.
I mean,
in 2016. For that TwitchCon.
By launch, I mean with the Bob Ross event that happened after TwitchCon 2016. 2015.
Yeah, it was in early. I think it was 2016 when it started picking up a lot of speed.
Right.
Years.
I didn't go to TwitchCon.
They were all about promoting creative that year. I think they really that was their first step to being like, okay, we're integrating non-gaming content.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And they really did do a lot to try to promote it and feature it. It grew pretty well and it became this very warm and welcoming place, but it didn't reach levels of popularity that maybe people hoped that it would.
Yeah.
I'm just
at launch.
suspecting.
Yeah.
I mean, it did grow pretty well. I'm really happy to see the music viewership in the music category growing.
Mm-hmm.
I checked in yesterday and there was almost 10,000 viewers in music.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, there was it was like almost 10,000 viewers, and it's not
Wow.
unusual to see more than 8,000 viewers in there a lot of the time now.
That's awesome.
And that's a lot of viewers. It is, if you're browsing, that knocks that category up to maybe the first page of browsing.
Yeah,
like
it
that's
does.
a really big deal for everybody.
That's top 10 numbers.
Start
right
checking your stats. When you look at the last 30 days or the last week in your stats page in your dashboard, and it'll show you the percentage of viewers that came from hosts, the percentage of viewers that came from your followers,
Yeah.
and it'll show you the percentage of viewers that came from browse page.
Ah.
Start looking at that, because that has started going up to the point of 10, 20, 15, 25, 30% sometimes of viewers. I think it was Pint or Seth I was talking to just the other day, yesterday, in their previous stream, the one that they had just finished. It was like 28% of their viewer came from the browse page. So guys, it's going up.
It's a big deal.
That's awesome.
It's a big deal. Thank you, Twitch, too.
Yeah.
Because that browsing setting, there's some relevancy settings or something that were kind of knocking us down in the pages, but I think they've fixed that now.
Yeah.
And so it must be easier for us to get discovered.
It's
That's
funny.
a big
I've
deal.
had a bunch of people message me this week with just like a private message that says, "We're here. We don't suck. I love it." Yeah.
No, they Twitch loves music. Twitch
Yeah.
they love creative. They love every aspect of it, and they want to make it better.
Yeah.
And
for
they're so
sure.
forgiving, like it really is. You can show up and bring your best, because Twitch isn't about the perfect cut, like, traditional platforms that we've been restricted to in the past as far as music goes on the internet, putting your stuff on SoundCloud or putting your stuff on YouTube. How many takes are you doing to make something sound perfect there? So we can't compare our type of content to that type of content. This is entirely new content. This is your behind the scenes. This is your just doing it on the fly.
Yeah.
And so imagine all that practice and all of that growth, and they get to be a part of that. And they get to see that,
Yeah.
and then you get to build on that later, or at the same time by also doing that stuff is just really, really cool and unique and inspiring, I think, for other people to see these journeys that everybody's going on as musicians and as broadcasters. You see
Yeah.
them grow and come out of their shells and up their production value and build those communities. And, it makes me so proud when I bring my community over to another one and you just see subs and tips.
Oh, that's so
and
true.
love,
Yeah.
and it's a unique thing all on its own. And I'm just so happy that music is part of it. It's just
Yeah.
awesome.
Preach it, Steph.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear the gospel music coming through my mic?
Oh, we need that.
I get on these rants about Twitch, but it is a special platform. And, the fact that music does so much for people. People love music.
Yeah.
We get to combine our personalities, music, real-time engagement with people. It's priceless. You can't compare it to anything else.
Yeah. That's so
Right
true.
on.
Well, let's do this.
I want to talk about goals with Ryan too. I just want to hear what Ryan wants to do, what he's
Yeah,
got planned in the
totally.
next. Where do you see this going, Ryan? Where do you have anything coming up this year? Do you, is Twitch going to segue you into something different? Are you going to continue to build Twitch? Where are you sort of hoping to go with this? If you can
Well-
answer that, I know it's a weird question.
For me personally, just to continue on to production, people like 88-bit music are hugely inspirational, just with the stuff that he can create, and I'd love to be able to do that. And fortunately enough, Twitch, just there's so much talent like 88-bit on here that it's just a great platform to stay on and learn and have people come with you. There are people that have watched me from the very first thing that I've made that didn't sound too good, but I've had people come in and say tell me the differences between when I started and where I am now. And that's a huge, like, huge inspiration right there, just to motivation, keep yourself going.
Yeah.
It's just the regulars, just really making sure that that, like, hey, you've come a long way. I can say that now because other people have told me that.
No, man.
And so
sure.
I really want to keep on with that. And I love every aspect. That's just because I feel like I'm a little bit inconsistent with my voice or anything like that. I still want to keep going. I still love every aspect of that. I'm always trying to try new things, like injecting music into video games a little bit more. Like I had this big Subnautica marathon not too long ago, and I was Ocean Man was the theme.
I saw
of that-
you.
It's 14 hours
stream.
you streamed, right? That game?
Yeah, it's 14 hours, most of it with like no shirt and like scuba gear and pink wings, pink floaties. It was.
And you're supporting yourself doing this.
Yeah, it's strange. I know.
That's awesome. I had a question about the production stuff. Is there anyone that you would really like to work with, maybe on Twitch, or like a dream collaboration that, or you have like an idea, like from a producer standpoint or production standpoint? I know it's on the fly. But.
Not Protostar. Definitely not. I've been working on this track with Nicole Ponzio for a while. She is absolutely just phenomenal, like writing original stuff, and it's like it's perfect with like what I'm into producing right now.
We heard a taste of that at the retreat, didn't we? A little bit.
Yeah. She performed it there. That was like I think that was like the first time she'd ever really performed live, like in front of people. Doc, didn't you say? Wasn't that the first time
That's what she said? Yeah, she
that was
had
her
never
first
performed in front of live people.
That's so great. She did fantastic. Her music is fantastic, and working with her is really awesome. Anyone that's got original stuff, I just branch out so much. Like, I feel like every tune that I make comes out a little bit differently. So it kind of like goes with the wind. If I like hear something and I think, oh, this could be really cool, then that's the next dream project.
Yeah.
It's just whatever I think will sound, whatever I think I could make sound amazing. I don't know.
Seems like a logical next step. You know, there's a community that knows you. You've been building this skill. I mean, look at me. I'm going to be recording. I'm doing it all with people from Twitch. There's going to be people that have projects, and they are going to want to go to somebody who already knows them.
Right.
They already know, they've demonstrated, and they understand the platform. They already know that they can trust them. You already believe in them. You already kind of know what they're going for. I mean, it just does seem like a nice logical next step to add in.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No matter what it will be, it'll be working with people that I know from Twitch. Definitely. That'd be
awesome.
Without a doubt.
So if you have original content, guys.
Yeah.
Hit them up.
Let me listen. Ryan's about to sell out. That's my one chat reading. Everything Richie says.
That's awesome, guys. It's so cool. It's exciting, man. Just to see growth in somebody from when they started, playing like a guitar, and then you start singing, and you do change as a creator. You don't want to do the same thing forever. Like I said before, it's healthy to just pursue different avenues of creativity and explore what you're capable of. And I think that's awesome that you're doing that. And you're good. You're really good at it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would tell people not to be afraid to stream anything. If you have an idea, try to stream something. Just go ahead and try it. Like cooking, car work, production, whatever. Yeah. maybe a first-person computer building stream. I don't know. Just
there you go.
Twitch is all about ideas.
There's millions of viewers. Somebody from all over the world. Somebody is bound to show up and like you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some people who don't, and those people will not be afraid to tell you that. But that's also a good lesson in personal growth and in development, to be able to tune out. I've grown so much as a person. Being able to tune out those voices and being able to improve myself in spite of those, despite those voices, being able to just drown them out. and focus instead on the people who believe in me and believing in myself. You know, my
Yeah.
stream when I first started, when you have a low view count, especially, it's going to be normal on those first few streams before you have a team of moderators, before you have a lot of viewers, to get the odd person, hey, you suck, you know, or even worse stuff than that, you know.
Yeah.
As a woman on Twitch, I heard a lot of really terrible comments about my appearance or this or that, you know. But you can get past that and you can still build a great community and grow as a human being, all through live streaming and connecting with people from all over the world, doing whatever, you know, being in scuba gear, playing guitar, you know, like whatever. Like it is pretty cool that way.
Yeah, it sure is. It's pretty magical.
Yeah.
But I am looking at the clock, so I don't want to keep everybody too long. But I would like to use this time, if anyone in chat has questions, and if all you guys can help me, maybe keep an eye. But if you guys have questions for Ryan or any of us, please kind of open it up a little bit. I feel like I could talk to Ryan forever. I have like a million questions. Editing a super long episode will be a little tricky.
I didn't see your list either, Dan.
What about a 24/7 never ending? Can you just edit on the fly? Edit for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
I think that's what Twitch staff wants you to do.
That's like, you know, now we're in 4D chess. No.
Yeah, 24-hour podcast.
4D chess.
Why are we all so beautiful? Our parents are gorgeous. I don't know.
It's the lighting. We just know
Soylent.
how to make lights
Soylent.
work. Especially Doc. Look at those rosy cheeks.
Oh, Project said, thank you to each of you and for what you do. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Pine. Sorry,
Max
we can't
Stardust
stop
says
being
they'd
cool.
really like Dan to pick at least one question from that list, really.
One question from that list. Oh, man. I have a couple here. I'm trying to read my writing. Did you guys hear the train going by?
I
we've
don't
got
actually.
another question here from Jinglingle.
Oh, yeah.
And did you take voice lessons or did you develop it yourself? And any suggestions for someone who wants to develop their voice?
That's on my list, actually. Formal training.
Oh, wow. What a coincidence. No, I've actually never taken any kind of voice lessons. I'm self-taught with everything that I do. And I basically chalk it up to just like being able to kind of like listen and hear like if something sounds good or if it sounds bad and just try to emulate. I can be a parrot sometimes, like if I hear somebody's accent or something like that. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at like copying it, and so I'll hear someone sing that I kind of want to, and if I really like the tone of their voice or the way they're doing it, I'll listen to the things that I don't like that I might be doing wrong, and try to emulate that. Also, YouTube. You can learn to do anything on YouTube. It's where all the car stuff came from. It's where most everything like that I know how to do is just come from like just learning off of YouTube. It's such an invaluable source of information now. It's crazy.
Yeah. One of the questions on here that I had was, you, I know, did a lot of like the alerts and like alert sounds for like your channel and Richie's. I remember when I was watching you guys, I'm like, wow, how do they have like such unique things? But when did you start doing that? Like the animations and stuff like that and the sounds.
It's kind of just stemmed from something that I've always liked to do. Like I try, like I said, if I can do something, then I'll try to do it myself. Yeah. Then I started getting like a little better at it, and some other streamers reached out to me. Some like one League of Legends streamer and a guy that does I'm getting some whispers in my ear right now. So a couple streamers then reached out to me to try to like to create some sounds for them, and I developed some pretty good like sources of commissions. And if anyone like wants to get in touch with me as well and wants me to do some stuff for them, I will be more than happy to do some work for you. Absolutely looking for stuff right now.
It was one of the things I noticed when I first like started watching you guys. And that you guys were together at first. Like, I didn't put two and two together because I would watch Richie and she's like, oh, Ryan's on. And I'm like, okay. And then
No, they're just
and then
really
I'm
best
like,
friends.
it was. I'm gonna sound like a weirdo, but it took me probably like a month to go. Oh, like I just
And I
didn't
don't
get
think
it
that's a
at
bad
first.
thing.
No,
That's
I
kind
just
of a nice thing.
yeah.
You guys keep it professional.
Yeah, because I was a little slow to the figure it out club, but it was pretty cool.
No, it's a lot of interesting things happen when if you like live with another streamer. I got Ali got a Snapchat from a regular of ours named Zelda Rock, and we were both streaming at the same time, and we were yelling at each other from another, like talking, but we had to yell because we were in different rooms. And he had us on both monitors, and the Snapchat made it look like we were actually talking to each other between the monitors. They synced up perfectly. Like he had the volume on both streams, but it looked like we were just talking to each other, like from one stream to another. If you ever get the chance to be with another streamer, like in the same room and stream at the same time, tell people to try that. It's the funniest looking thing you've ever seen. Like to have, like, it's basically two different streams talking to each other.
That's awesome.
It was hilarious. The other night we went and we like bombarded your chat. Those of us who were watching Richie while she and you were streaming at the same time, we went and bombarded your chat with an emote because she told us to go over there. I thought that was pretty funny. Like the interactivity was kind of, you could hear you shouting from across the room, and everybody in the chat was like, really? And she goes, here guys, go spam his chat with this. And so we were able to kind of go.
We have a really good question. We have a really good question from Teddy in chat. Yeah. Do you often seek smaller music streamers to raid after your streams, and do you have certain requirements to bring people into this specific music community? This is for kind of everybody.
Yeah,
but,
that's that's a great question actually. I'll typically try to find, like, if I see someone like that's new, we'll typically try to hunt somebody down after a stream if I've like never seen them streaming before, and try to raid them. I can't think of any certain requirements that really stand out to me. Just be yourself, and that's kind of it.
You need
talk to chat.
You need to play all your modes at like 200 BPMs.
Yeah,
you
need to play Flight of the Bumblebee on the guitar at 300 BPM before I can even consider.
We need a doctor's note. We need a doctor's note.
Oh my goodness.
People that I raid, I always like to kind of know who I'm going to raid first. So if it is a new streamer, I always, I don't think I've ever really raided someone that I've never watched before. But if I see someone just starting out and I really like what they're doing, I've said this before. I treat it like I'm setting up a friend on a date. So all the people that are in my chat, I'm saying, hey, you would probably really like this guy or gal, so that's kind of how I approach it. And I do like to help out smaller people for sure. But it is hard when you open up that list and you, like I said before, you see all your friends on, you're like, oh man, it can be tricky.
Yeah.
Sometimes at least there's not the danger of raiding a vodcast nowadays.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst. You raid a vodcast.
I've done it before.
Raid right when somebody's ending. I really suggest though with raiding that you have somebody go check it out and let you know, like a mod, go check out and make sure they're still at a good point. Like Mr. Jacob Edwards, he mods for Raquel Lilly, and I remember he came over and he was like, are you going to be on for a little bit? And I'm like, it was like really late at night and I wasn't. And I'm like, I know she's been on, guys, please don't raid me. And he goes, okay, that's why I came to check. I think that's, in that case, that was really cool. Or just, having them pop in. Like I raided Dan the other night.
Yeah.
And right as I did, it turned out
I was going to raid
Dan
her. Yeah.
was going to come raid me. So I just beat him to it. So that's kind of cool. I do sometimes choose from my friends, especially, if else on that's new or whatever, or if I know they had a big milestone and I want to just bring a little extra hype, I'll do that. Sure. But sometimes I do just go see like, oh wow, this guy has 5 viewers, and I'll go preview it for a second, and I'll be like, wow, this guy sounds great. Okay guys, we're gonna go over here, and just kind of hope that it works. And sometimes it's worked really, really well, and sometimes they might be new and not know what a raid is, and that's always an adventure too. But yeah, I think that's a great question.
The thing to take away is that it's still a relatively small community, and you could be raided at any point, like by someone. There's still so much room for like some like people, talented musicians, to come in and get a community basically instantly. In the music community. So it's still wide open, guys. Hit that start streaming button. Let's go.
That's awesome. Well, any other questions, you guys?
There was a little one for Ryan that I saw a while back. Ryan, what's at like the top of your current playlist? What are you listening to right now?
Oh, geez. So I had a big drive to get to Tennessee. Big long drive. And initially it was John Williams and in Amazon Prime Music. Just like the
composer.
The composer, yeah, John Williams, and like a lot of other like I guess cinematic orchestral music that kind of sounded similar to that. On the way back though, I was a little bit more trendy. I put Death Cab for Cutie in there. And I got some pretty cool stuff, like stuff that there's just a really great mix of stuff. I even heard that new radio hit, or no, Weezer tune, Thank God. Yes. Thank God for Girls.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't sound like Weezer at all, but
so good.
Great track. Yeah. It's a really good track. So yeah, I guess a mix between kind of like folksy, modern folksy stuff and orchestral stuff.
Nice.
It's kind of a weird mix, I guess.
That's awesome. But before we wrap this up, could I do one thing?
Yeah.
Music Chick did this the other day, and I thought it was such a good idea, and I've been doing it on my streams. If you're in the chat right now and you're a music streamer, put up 3 hearts. Put up 3 hearts, and let's all go follow each other and take note of that. I'm gonna go look at this VOD after and probably go click and follow anybody I didn't know was a music streamer.
That is a great idea. Wow.
And I was like, that's brilliant. And I think in this chat, it's going to be especially cool. Everybody go follow each other.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Also, Monkey Ninja Forever just said their class is over. I think they've been watching and listening from their college class.
Oh, thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
They made a donation even on behalf of the class.
Nice.
Earlier, he had asked if we could read off the donations. Could we do that while people are doing the 3 hearts in chat?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Totally.
Do you have access to that, Ryan?
Allie does. She might have to.
A little bird can like bring you.
I'm not prepared.
Yeah, guys.
Not prepared for all this hype. Thank you.
This is so exciting. Allie's here.
Richie's here. This is twitch.tv.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have a backstage pass?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave. All right.
We'll be more prepared next time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, how did Doc say that? So she pulled up the stream and I heard like you say that again. I was like, how did you say that again so perfectly? Yeah, I was really confused. So I think the first one we got today was from Olivia. It was $20. It said, "Love you guys. Thanks for what you do. Chicken, you've inspired me so much. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Thank you. That's just so incredible. Thank you guys so much." After that, we got one from Guitars, Guns, and Gains, also known as
Triple G.
a Triple G. Love this cause. Love you guys. Love this podcast. And loved meeting you, Matt, at the retreat. That was incredible. You're so talented. Make sure you guys follow him too. I'm sure you followed everybody that put the 3 hearts in chat, but he definitely, if he's here, he definitely should have. And then we have Monkey, aka Olivia, again. Thanks for everything, guys. I know my money will go to good use. Smiley face. Oh. And that was 20, and then 60 from her once more with love you guys. So 100 total.
Oh my
Olivia.
gosh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My goodness. And then 20 from the college class as well.
That's awesome.
You guys.
That's what the college class.
Yeah, just from the class. Like
that's
cool. So awesome.
So
that's amazing.
In case they don't know, so Mr. Holland's Opus is where the money is going to.
Yeah.
And Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation is a foundation that covers grants for schools, for elementary schools, from what I saw, elementary, middle, to get musical instruments for kids that are learning how to do music, for underfunded music programs, for things as little as mouthpieces for flutes or what have you, to full instruments, to paying for teachers to be able to have more hours and things like that. It covers an entire spectrum of teaching kids about music early on in their life, so we can just get more wonderful musicians into this world. It's an awesome foundation, and you guys have helped that today with all your generosity. So just thank you so much, Olivia, and Olivia's class. That's so cool.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
For sure.
Amazing.
That is awesome.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come chat with us. It
thank
really
you so
means
much
a lot
for having me, Dan. This has been awesome.
Means a
thank
lot.
you guys so much.
Yeah.
Steph, Doc, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Good to get to hang out with you, man.
And
Are we
where?
gonna go raid somebody too?
Well, yeah, we can do that. But where can people find you before we go? Can you kind of shout out like your channel, Twitter, wherever, or if people want to commission you at all? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
I think Ali put my email address, my business email in chat, but that's LtChicken1@gmail.com. You can go there, or you can check me out at Twitch, twitch.tv/LtChicken. It's Lieutenant, not little, or anything like that. And you can come find me there. I typically stream in the evenings. Ninja wants to play Fortnite, and I say yes, I shall play some Fortnite with you. Let's do some duos. Let's get some wins. Get some victory royales, chicken dinners. Let's go. Absolutely will. So you can find me there. I stream all sorts of things from singing and playing guitar to music production to playing games to working on my car to cooking to just all sorts of stuff.
Looking forward to that radiator stream.
Yeah, that's
a big.
I think it's gonna be easy. The radiator in that car is just like, I think you just take it out, put it back in, as it were.
See, but that's what you always think, right? And then like 8 hours later, you're like, oh
that's not
no.
what I thought with the alternator. That took like 3 days. I do not exactly have the right tools.
That's how I start every project.
Thanks to Twitch chat.
Yeah, every project in my house starts with, I got this.
It's just pull it out. It's fine. It's just replace it. Then coolant is everywhere. It's like, I didn't expect this. So.
Steph, Doc, where can people find you at?
Doc. twitch.tv/DOC_BIZZLE. Doc_Bizzle, or on Twitter, or on Instagram, or now at YouTube, youtube.com/DocBizzle with no underscore.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh man.
Come see me.
Across all socials. I am Random Girl Singing on Twitch. On YouTube, I'm Random Girl Singing, all one word. And on Twitter, I am RGSLUL, RGSLUL, like the emote.
Nice. And I'm Dan Drumstone everywhere. Just type that in. Twitch, Twitter. I made an Instagram. I know, it's weird, but it's kind of cool.
Dan makes it easy.
Yeah. But and then guys, for the podcast, we're just the Music Community Podcast. You guys can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, everywhere that you listen to podcasts. We're on YouTube as well. So yeah, give us a listen if you want to catch up. There's some great older episodes that are just amazing. Just some great people that we've got a chance to talk to and find out more about. And that's the whole point of this, is to. I had so many questions for Ryan, and it's so awesome. Like it's so cool to learn, people's stories and stuff. So thank you very much again, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
And everyone that's in chat. It's really awesome. And we're going to do this, I think, every Friday around the same time, same bat channel, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be the plan right here on Saving Music Live. And thank you to Ali for letting us, entrusting us with her awesome project. Ali, thank you. We're very lucky to have you guys just in our community. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Here, man.
Are we gonna raid somebody?
Yeah. Where should we bring the party to? Anybody in chat have some ideas, or what do you think, Ryan? You want to choose? Let the guests choose.
I raid you up.
Yes, choice makes sense.
Party.
Oh, Christy's here. Thank you, Christy. And Faith. Oh my gosh, there's so many cool people.
Yeah, you guys, thank you for being around today. This was pretty great.
Oh, Vargon's here too. Wait.
Vargon is
Vargon
on.
I see. Oh, Vargon's
Here's
on.
Steve.
Let's go to Vargon.
Here Steve is on. Piano Impro Man, Sand Experiment.
We're gonna edit out all of the people we might have rated.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can stop recording now if you want. I think we're
Yeah, I'm
good.
gonna stop recording. That's good.
Oh, okay.
Spacebar.
I mean, obviously, we love everybody.
I've actually blown out a
decision.
keyboard from hitting spacebar
Right.
from recording stuff. It's like spacebar, spacebar, spacebar.
I actually have a pedal to punch in with recording now. Just like, I don't know, from the looping, it's like, I figured why not just like actually have a pedal that records on my DAW when I hit it. It helps workflow a lot. Strange enough.
And it's so awesome to see everybody that's here. Sierra, hi.
Did you decide, Ryan, who you want to?
Else
you go
go.
I know I saw Jason Yang live as well. I thought we were leaving up the chat. Let me go have a look here real quick.
Go take a look.
I'm gonna go have a look.
Richie, can you do the host from your end, or do I need to do that?
Oh, Saving Music Live is live. That's real cool.
She'll do it, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she'll do it.
She'll
Awesome.
do it.
I think, yeah.
Awesome.
Thought you heard. I say Vargon. I missed Varg. I was hoping Vargon would be able to go. Let's go host Vargon. He's so
I love
awesome.
it.
We met him at TwitchCon as well. It was so great to meet him.
He's good
Talented
people.
cellist.
Yeah, talented cello player. He's really good. He teaches as well. He's so talented.
Do it. Do it.
Let's go.
Guys, thank you so
All
much for being here. It means the world.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let me know when it
Yeah,
goes
my
through.
break
I'll hit stop.
already. Yeah. Awesome.
She said boop. You don't have permissions. Does anyone else have it?
Do I have to do it?
Ain't it? Isn't it your channel?
Is it because I'm on the thing?
Oh, Twitch. I bet I won't have permission.
Here.
Do we have any editors in the house? Must can do it.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
must has it.
Must. Let's go.
Yeah.
Vargon. We're raiding Vargon. Must.
Let me know when it's gone through, and I'll hit stop.
I'm gonna pull up his channel. I want to
Yeah.
see his reaction.
Must used raid.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
so we're
awesome.
raiding now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank you guys so much.
Hey, here we go.
Have a great evening, guys, and a great afternoon.
Everyone, go get a pizza.
Everybody get in there
You
and show
deserve
some
it.
love.
Oh yeah, pizza.
I'm getting a
Ooh.
pizza. I'm totally getting a pizza.
So many raiders. This is amazing.
Here we go. It's one of the best parts of streaming. It's
It
raiding
is.
People.
Yeah. Wow, you guys, thank you so
And this
much.
new raid command.
Bye. Oh, he's
Oh,
rocking out.
whoa. I did
Yeah,
not
he's-
expect to hear
he's
that.
Killing it, man.
All right, I'll hit stop, right?
He's playing Dream Theater. Oh my god.